How's everybody doing out there? Thought I'd do something a little different today. Had a few questions about gigs, and one in particular about lining up gigs. And I thought today I'd talk about questions to ask, which would be a great thing to do when you line up a gig because information is king. So your band is ready to go, you call up a club owner, an event organizer, a booking manager, a restaurant manager to get a job, and you describe your band, you talk about it, and they say yes. So after they say yes, first thing a good thing to ask was about the money, the dates available. That's obvious, but the things that aren't so obvious are the things that are really important. Like how many outlets are around the stage. Is there a stage? So that way you'd be prepared and know what to bring in, because some clubs only have one or two outlets with two outlets in each one. And it's okay if you're a small band with just a PA head and a few guitar amps, but if you have a big PA and lights and stuff, you need a lot more power than that, and it's good to know what's there to be prepared to bring with you. And after that, I would say ask what time for load in. What would be the earliest time to load in? Because you don't want to go to a show, get there a half hour before and set up and either not have enough time to smoke a cigarette or drink a beer, or just be late, and because you got there late and set up late. So I would say that a very good idea is to get there an hour and a half, 2 hours early for a gig. Get everybody on the same page. Try to get there at the same time so everybody can be set up. I like to go even earlier than that, sometimes 2.5, 3 hours, because you never know if something's going to go wrong. So it's always good to know what load-in time, because sometimes you only get 2 hours before your show starts. Some clubs open at 6. You go on at 8. So those are very good questions to ask right there, and ask if there's any gratuities like free drinks. Are you allowed to set up a tip jar? Are you allowed to have a merchandise table there? Because some clubs don't allow that. Some clubs don't give free drinks. Some clubs don't want you putting a tip jar up there. So those are all very good questions to ask when you're lining up a show. And always ask for the address too, because that's not always so obvious. Ask if you can load in from the front or if you load in from the back, and is there parking available close by? Is it upstairs or is it downstairs? Because going up and downstairs ain't a whole lot of fun carrying gear that weighs 100 pounds. It's a chore. It's good to be prepared. Always take a 2-wheel dolly cart, and that makes a big difference too. So those are some basic things that I would definitely ask, and ask what kind of music they like, because that's not always a given. Some clubs don't want you to go in there and play a Waylon Jennings song, if it's a heavy metal bar, and that's good to know, even though I've done that before too, and got away with it a few times. But yeah, those are good things to ask once you get a job lined up on the phone, or even in email, stuff like that. I would definitely recommend asking all those things, because it's a lot better to be prepared and go in and know what's going to be there and what you're looking at, instead of just driving up blind, which I've done many times myself, and it's not a very fun situation sometimes. All right. I'm going to be doing some more of these things down the future, down the road. So, y'all hang in there. Thanks for coming by. Good day.